If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. And why do you support Donald Trump? Can't hear you when you swipe out of the app. Just letting you know.
Oh, I would say he gives minorities a better voice.
What? What
I would
reason do you
say
have
he
to
gives
believe
my
that?
well, he increased and permeated fundings to black colleges.
He actually decreased the funding going to it. Did you know that? Like the level was $500 million a year under Obama. It was decreased to $255 million a year under Trump, and it was increased to $4 billion a year under the Biden-Harris administration. Did you know that? So
Really?
Trump under his term actually decreased the funding. Yes.
Okay. All
So
right.
then you think he's worse off, right? So then you wouldn't vote for him. Actually, you'd vote for the Democrats because they advocated for more funding.
Well, I didn't say that.
Oh wait, but that was the reason why you said you support Trump. So there must be
Well, it's
some
one
other
of
reason
them.
why you support Trump other than this, because it seems like you didn't really actually care about that.
Well, that's not true, but okay.
Well, then you would have voted for Democrats who advocated for significantly more. What's a larger number? 250 million or 4 billion?
4 billion, of course.
Okay. Wow. That's I mean, I know, right? And it's vastly larger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's vastly larger and you brought this up as a point that was so good insofar as that you would vote for someone and it's actually worse off for Trump and it's better off for the Democrats, why wouldn't that be a reason to vote for the Democrats if you thought it was a reason to vote for Donald Trump?
Good point. All right. Wait. So when did Trump uh, take down that?
When did Trump do that? In his first term?
Yeah, because in his first term he did that, right?
Yes.
And you're saying Democrats just did it more, is what you're saying.
Democrats did significantly more funding and Trump literally decreased the funding. Yes, on a yearly basis.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's what you're saying. And then my other reason was border.
Okay, what about the border?
I just think it should be closed, man.
Why?
Like I think we need way faster process. Like my uncle, he's from Brazil.
Okay,
He's
that's
been
a
here for like
democratic position. Why do you want the border to be closed?
because I don't think people should just be able to come in here willy nilly.
Okay. Well, you think that there should be a vetting process, a quick process for people to get into the country. So why not provide a pathway to citizenship for anyone who's currently in the
Right,
country undocumented who has not committed a violent crime or bad crime?
right. I agree with that, but
Okay.
I
Well,
still think from now
that's even to
on.
the left of the Democratic Party now.
Okay, well I said I agree with that, but from now on, we should still be strict about who comes in. But for the people who are here, we do need to get them citizenship.
So if you want to provide a faster like pathway for people to come into our country legally, and
Right,
you want to provide amnesty for undocumented immigrants who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime, then we literally have the same position on immigration.
right,
Okay, so
right. Like my
you hold a position to the left of the Democratic Party, right? So then why would you say that Trump has preferable immigration policy?
well, I just like the closed border is what I'm saying.
What he's not doing it in the way that you want to. And the way that you want to reduce undocumented immigration is by providing amnesty and a pathway to citizenship that's significantly quicker. Trump is
Right,
doing so by literally deporting people who have been in the country for a very long time and restricting due process rights as granted in the Constitution.
right. But I'm under the impression that the Democratic candidate wants to have a completely open border.
What makes you think that? You just bought the like Republican Fox News Jesse Waters talking points?
No, I don't watch Fox News.
Well, genuinely, there's no basis to that. Democrats definitely want to like have some sort of security measures on the border. I'm to the left of them, right? They don't even hold the position that every single person who's in the country undocumented who has not committed a violent crime or bad crime should be given a pathway to citizenship. They've been deporting people historically who have been in those situations, and I disagree with that. They just do so at a lesser extent, and they advocate for a process to go quicker, whereas Trump doesn't do so, and Trump advocates against that. And then also, like, there's a difference in due process, right? So, like, again, we care about due process, right? That people are able to go in front of a judge if they commit a crime, right?
Right.
Okay, if you care about that, then why do you support Donald Trump who undermines that?
Because they shouldn't be here in the first place, is what I'm saying. Like, why would they get due process? if they weren't even supposed to be here first off.
Because in the Constitution, everyone within the jurisdiction of the country gets due process.
Isn't that only the citizens?
Also, there are people in the country that are considered like unauthorized to be in the country that have come into the country legally and then just overstayed their stay, right? So
Right.
they never necessarily crossed the border undocumented, so they didn't
Right, like a
commit
long
that crime.
vacation.
So, like, do you think that they should be removed from the country?
I mean, yeah, if they're not supposed to be here.
Okay, so now you've changed your position from what you've said earlier. Now you're okay with deporting people who have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes, right? In the sole condition that they just came to the country and documented or they committed a crime. So you want to hold people accountable for the crimes that they commit. Okay, I have a question. Why did you vote for a convicted criminal instead of allowing for his sentence to put him in prison?
I didn't vote yet.
You didn't vote for Donald Trump?
No, I haven't voted. I didn't
So
vote.
so you don't so if you could go back in time, you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump.
No, I would.
So you would, even though it wouldn't hold him accountable because he committed a crime, and then he wouldn't be put in prison because he became president, right? Which is what happened.
Okay, but you know why he has those felonies, right?
Do I know why he has those felonies? Yes, because of
No,
the
I know
crimes
you
that he's
do.
committed.
Right. Which should be misdemeanors
No,
because
you don't understand at all. Can you tell me what the violation of the law was?
yeah, he sent money and to a and marked it as like taxes or something, right?
So he
And it
falsified
was 30
business
it was it
records.
was
So
30
I'll
right, it
tell
was
you.
34
He
months.
he falsified business records in the first degree, which is a classy felony in the state of New York because of a predicate crime, meaning he was committing this predicate crime in furtherance of another crime.
Obama did the same thing and it was a misdemeanor and he only had
Obama
to
did
get
not do the same
50,000.
thing.
Look it up.
Show me. And also, where was the predicate crime? Did a jury determine that based upon a predicate crime, it was a felony? Or was there no predicate crime involved if this was a thing? And also, I've never even heard of this in the first place. Where'd you get this information from?
What are you doing, man? Oh, I see. That's low-key funny. I saw you on Dean's stream last night, bro. That guy was crazy.
Dean's crazy? Why is Dean
No, not
crazy?
Dean. No, the
Oh.
guy Dean was debating. I like Dean.
Oh, yeah, he's been on my stream before. He thought I was the Antichrist.
Yeah, that guy's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone was saying morning to the Antichrist today for some reason. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so like, why do you support Trump? Come on. Again, it was a felony. Like, it genuinely was. And if you want to hold him accountable, you should. Also, by the way, if it was a misdemeanor, that doesn't change whether or not he should be held accountable from your perspective, because coming to the country undocumented or
Yeah, you're
unlawfully
right.
into the country is a
Right.
misdemeanor. So it's like,
It's true.
why does that mean that it doesn't matter? Because then it would mean that
Okay.
undocumented
What
immigrants committing a
about what
misdemeanor, that
about
doesn't matter.
what about his better economy? And like for example,
Better economy?
three
Like, how
years
so?
3 years ago, my gas for my truck for a full tank was $100. I went and filled it up this morning, $60, same gas station.
Okay. So did you know that has nothing to do with the president of the United States? That has everything to do with global supply chains? Because Trump signed an
Oh,
agreement with OPEC to cut oil production. Because Trump specifically, I mean, I can point to plenty of the things he engaged in, but I mean, he also has cut funding for energy or substitutes that is also going to impact the price. And then also gas prices since he's got in office have increased.
really?
Yeah, since Trump's got in office, gas prices have increased.
All right.
What happened to drill, baby, drill? Drill, baby, drill. Just drill so much that the price goes to zero. Drill, baby,
What
drill.
about
What happened to that? I thought he was gonna be dictator on day one to drill, baby, drill. Seems like he forgot about that.
uh, what about like
Where are they drilling,
the
baby drilling? What happened to the Keystone XL pipeline? Is Trump bringing that back against court determinations?
I guess not.
Okay,
What
so
about like What about
But I
like the
wanted him to
people?
drill, man.
What about like the people of both parties? I'm saying like if I well actually I have um any of my friends who are Democrats, if I said I voted or I would vote for Trump in front of them, all of them disown me. Like actually, like that's happened before.
Um, there are probably pretty good reasons for that, right? Like
Like
he
what?
was held civilly liable of sexual abuse. He incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol and pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers, and he called them patriots. He said he dated a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. He bragged about walking to the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent, where an 18-year-old came out and said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms when Donald Trump would barge in. Right? He denies science and climate change, and he spreads vast misinformation that leads to the public health crisis in our country right now, and measles rates increasing in the country. I mean, I can point to a million different things, like him giving massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires while increasing tax on low and middle income individuals, alongside a million of other policies that Donald Trump has done that have been vastly detrimental to this country. Yet you're going to sit there and be like, I have no idea why someone would specifically not want to be my friend if I believe in that. What?
All
You,
right.
you have no idea. You couldn't possibly understand why why people would not want to be friends with you in that context. Do you have a response?
Well, I don't know. It's just these guys have been like my best friends for years, and then the moment they hear I would vote for this person, like they just instantly unadd me on everything, block me on everything, never talk to me again. Like, doesn't that seem a little
Did you hear
crazy?
anything I just said?
I did.
Okay, so like, does there get a point where like you're just violating people's morals and they don't want to associate with you morally?
I guess.
Okay, like so like all the things that I just mentioned are reasonable points to like not want to be friends with you. Genuinely. I'm not joking. Every single one of those is crazy. Okay? It is
All right.
crazy. Every single one of those points is actually diabolically insane. Okay? The fact that you stand behind that and you didn't even intellectually respond to any of the points that I brought up shows that probably makes sense why they didn't want to communicate with you about this. If you can't engage with the points that I'm bringing up on the live, what could they have engaged with that would have specifically changed your mind? Sounds to me like they made the right decision, right?
I don't know. I feel like a way better option would be maybe try to change my mind
Okay,
instead of just
that's what I'm doing right now. And are you really reflecting upon that? I'm giving you all the information to do that. And are you really like changing? Are you changing your mind? Are you giving an intellectual response? Is there a thought process that you have here?
yeah. Um.
And by the way, I just want to say it is not your friend's obligation, right, at all to specifically go through and do that. That's why these places exist. That's why I do what I do, is because I want people to be able to come here and engage with me so that people don't have to be each other's friends when they have those types of moral disagreements. It's not your duty or obligation to like be friends with people to then like inevitably change their mind in the long run. That's not your obligation as a friend, even if you've known
Right.
someone for a long time.
Well, now I think back to it, it wasn't. I didn't specifically say that I would vote for Donald Trump. I'm thinking back to it, and I'm realizing they did that after I reposted a picture of Charlie Kirk's family after he got.
Okay, I'm confused. I'm confused what your point is here.
Was that um, people of the Democratic Party are willing to distance themselves from people or completely ignore people for what, mourning a death? Like that's crazy to me.
I'm sorry. Do you understand that there's like people on the right that have opinions that you disagree with as well, and that distance
No, yeah, I
themselves from their
understand that.
family members because
There,
they think that there's demonic entities within their family members? Like genuinely, like there are
no,
genuinely cases where people on the right believe that there are demonic entities within the context of the people that are within their family, and that's why they have to distance themselves from them. Well, would you brand the entire right as that because there was some idiot on the right that did that?
no,
No, you
for real.
wouldn't.
Like,
So then I'm confused. Why would you at all say that because someone holds a position that you don't like specifically on one side that you're going to brand the entirety of a position that way? Obviously that wouldn't make any sense.
because it is pretty much every single Democrat I've met that is like that, is what I'm saying.
Every single Okay, so am I like that?
I mean, you just said I kind of deserve it earlier,
Because
so
what did you? Because you didn't listen to any of the points that I brought up. Because each one of those things are reasons to not support Donald Trump, and you didn't even intellectually engage with them. So yes, I wouldn't like genuinely like you haven't showed a willingness to change at all.
hmm.
Maybe that will get you to reflect upon it, but genuinely, like I talk to people every single day. I know specifically when people are showing a willingness to change. You didn't even engage with the argument.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I
Do you
got
remember any of
like
the points? I can bring them back up.
right. I remember them. It was that he like wants to date kids. He's a sexual assaulter.
He was held civilly liable of sexual abuse by unanimous
Right,
decision of 9 people in
right,
a jury for forcibly penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will, unanimously,
right.
every single
And
one.
the
Right?
changing room or
He
whatever.
said he would date a
Right.
10-year-old girl in 10 years. He bragged
Hmm.
about walking to the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent, where an 18-year-old
Right. I
came
have
out
seen that. I
and
have
said there
seen
were
that.
4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms. So if you've seen that, why do you still defend him?
Here's a
Doesn't that
thought.
seem pretty crazy?
Maybe that is pretty crazy. I don't think he's a good person, but I'm not sure what that has to do with him doing his job as president.
You don't
If
know what
that
that has
makes
to do
sense.
with him doing his job as president, like him thinking it's okay to like abuse people and like perv on kids. I'm sorry, like you want them to be president? You want
Okay,
kids
but
and
what does that
people to
have to
look
do
up
with
to
him
them?
running the economy? What does that have to do with him being the
Well, I
president?
mean, we also have gone over in this conversation that the way he engages in economic policy is to the benefit of the very, very rich at the expense of like the bottom 99%. Okay, like I'm serious, like genuinely. Like his policies are not benefiting you. His policies are harming you, okay? Economically speaking. So not only is he economically worse off, but he's a horrible person.
All right.
Like genuinely, let's talk about the economy. Like I don't think there's a defensible position to back Trump from an economic perspective. I genuinely don't.
Oh, let, give me examples then.
The tariffs have led to worse off job market situations in terms of unemployment. Unemployment's increased. We've seen upward pressure on prices, right, which we wouldn't have seen if tariffs were not implemented, which has limited the
I've
ability to reduce interest rates and make it more
I've
affordable
seen
for everyday average
statistics.
Americans.
I've seen statistics that say the opposite.
What do you
I
mean?
mean, we could probably both bring up statistics that say
What
the opposite of
statistics
each
have you
other's.
seen?
I may not have them on me now.
Because I got mine from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So
All
I would
right.
love to see what other statistics that you saw or where you got them from.
I mean, I just said I don't have them, but I've seen them before.
Where do you get your information from then?
Yeah, you're right. I get it from TikTok. Shit.
Okay. So that's why I'm saying, like, because I'm on TikTok. So am I a valid source to you?
Sometimes I do be watching your sometimes.
Well, okay. I do think I am a valid source because I'm going to give you legitimate information because I'm trustworthy. But the point that I'm making here is that, yeah, I'm not even citing myself, right? I'm citing the Bureau of Labor Statistics under the Trump administration.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know why you dispute your own data.
I don't know. I like to get my news from other like. Oh wait, there's this one guy I always like to get my news from on Instagram. Both Sides News. Have you heard of him?
I
Dude,
think
he's
I have, yeah.
awesome. Yeah, people should check him out. He's actually amazing. But
Okay.
yeah, well, I gotta go soon because other people probably want their opportunity to talk to you too. But like, one last thing I do want to bring up, I just think it's like horrible that Democrats want to keep illegal immigrants in the company for the reason in the country for the reason that like, oh, they just want to do the dirty jobs in America and they don't get paid that much, like they're good for the economy. And I'm like, I just think that's like horrible because like at that point you're just abusing them and keeping them just because they're doing dirty work. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
No, we're advocating for a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime. Actually, enforcing a mass deportation process creates the conditions where they specifically can identify themselves to authorities, which would reduce them getting exploited in those manners. right? So actually, the process that you're advocating for creates the conditions that they're in. A process I advocate for would get rid of those conditions.
How would sending them back to their country create that environment for them?
What's up?
How would sending them back to their country make them have bad jobs in the U.S.? How does that make sense?
Dude, I said a pathway to citizenship where they do not have to leave the country if they have not committed a
No,
violent crime or a bad crime.
you said I support sending them back to the country and
Yeah,
deporting
mass
them, which creates
deportation.
that. Yeah, how does that create?
Because it creates the condition where if they're already in the country undocumented, that they have no ability to tell the authorities that they're being mistreated by their employer.
That's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying is that like I see a lot of people out there saying the argument for keeping illegal immigrants in the country because like oh they help run the economy because they do all this dirty work that no actual American wants to do and they don't really get paid for it. And I just think that's horrible.
Yeah, that is. So how do we? What's the solution? Amnesty.
Yeah,
Okay, mass deportation is not a solution for that. It's what causes that problem.
I see where we come from now. All right, dude. Thank you.